President-elect Donald Trump has repeatedly stated he doesn't believe in human-induced climate change. He has argued that climate change is a hoax created by the Chinese to make U.S. manufacturing non-competitive. Trump has declared he is going to roll back the federal climate change initiatives that have moved forward. He is going to roll back federal renewable energy policy. And most notably, he has loudly said, we will cancel the Paris Climate Agreement. Now, there are over 100 countries that have ratified that global emissions deal known as the Paris Climate Treaty, Climate Agreement. Trumpeters love that Trump is saying this. America big, America strong, America win, according to the low information trumpeters, but not quite so fast, as Nicolas Sarkozy, the former French president, has suggested something that would neuter Donald Trump's idea on this instantly. I know a lot of people will hear this and they'll say, French people, who cares? Those socialist bastards, I don't care what they say, Trump will win. Well, it turns out a lot of Trump's ideas can be pretty easily neutered. Build a wall with Mexico, which Mexico will pay for. Great idea, Don. Well, they need to pay for it, and they said they're not paying for it. As far as the Paris Climate Agreement goes, other countries also have agency, and former French President Nicolas Sarkozy suggested that, hey, you know what? If Trump pulls the U.S. out of the Paris Climate Pact, Europe should just put a carbon tax on American imports, which would destroy American business. Here's a quote from Nicolas Sarkozy. Donald Trump has said, we'll see if he keeps this promise, that he won't respect the conclusions of the Paris Climate Agreement. Well, I will demand that Europe put in place a carbon tax at its border, a tax of 1% to 3% for all products coming from the United States, if the United States doesn't apply environmental rules that we are imposing on our companies. Nicolas Sarkozy is currently a frontrunner for the nomination of the center-right Republicans Party, also in favor of forcing public authorities in Europe to use more products or materials made in Europe. This backlash is a very real possibility, Pat. Trump can't just do whatever he wants with no consequences. Economists say that if Trump does move to protect national markets in this way, that you are going to have blowback. The trumpeters will never get it, right? Oh, he'll build the wall in Mexico, we'll pay for it. Well, what does Mexico say about that? Oh, we'll pull out of the Paris Climate Treaty. Well, what will the other member countries do? And a tariff on American goods going to Europe would be devastating for American business under Trump.
Yeah, Donald Trump thinks that he can just strong arm other countries and they'll back out of the agreements. Yeah. But tariffs will work both ways, and we're going to see negative backlash not only with the climate, but also American businesses and our standing around the world.
Do you think that major American corporations wouldn't lose it on Trump if their products now will have a tariff on them because Trump is pulling out of the Paris climate deal? It takes more than a brash guy who says, I will do X and Y, to actually get it done without hurting your country. And it's so clear, as we're now starting to hear from China and what they will do if Trump does X, and from Nicolas Sarkozy about what the EU should do if Trump does X. This could be devastating for American business, and Trump is only starting to figure out the tip of the iceberg about why all along economists and foreign policy experts realize, wait a second, the stuff Trump is talking about makes absolutely no sense. Gamefly is sort of like Netflix for video games. They have over 8,000 new and classic games for Xbox One, Xbox 360, PS4, PS3, Wii, and a bunch of other platforms. And you can play as many games as you want for one monthly fee. And if you find some games you want to keep, you can buy them for a low used price. There's never any due dates or late fees. And our audience can get a free 30-day trial at gameflyoffer.com/TDPS. The games are shipped directly to you with return envelopes included. There's no contracts, and you can rent games through the mobile app. Get the free 30-day trial for the David Pakman Show audience and support our show by going to gameflyoffer.com/TDPS.